work our way down Eyre Peninsula and staying at a few different places across as far as Fowler's Bay.
So we've come down to the Port Germein jetty. Gonna have a little bit of a wander.
The old grain shed sits proud at the entry to the port and provides a great place to shelter from the weather. Maybe even have a few quiet ones.
Good place for a rest.
A section of the old narrow gauge railway that ran the length of the jetty still exists, and of course the old historic lighthouse. But the jewel in the crown would have to be the 1.5 kilometre long wooden jetty that seemingly stretches all the way across the bay. The jetty in its heyday used to be the longest in the southern hemisphere, at a whopping length of nearly 1.7 kilometres. But in recent years has had a portion removed and another section currently closed for safety reasons. Our first destination on the Eyre Peninsula is Whyalla. For this trip, we're travelling with a group of friends, so with the uncertainty of free camps big enough for large groups during the Christmas holiday period, we're mostly staying at caravan parks. The first park we're staying at is the Whyalla Caravan and Tourist Park. Set on the outskirts of town, it's a well-maintained, friendly park with all sorts of accommodation to suit everyone's needs. Hummock Hill Lookout was originally developed by BHP as a gift to the city. The site saw service as a gun battery during World War II, with the original gun still being on display today. The view from here really puts a perspective on the diversity of the area, from the beauty of the shimmering bay and the beach, to the harsh redness of the steel factory in the port area. If you're ever in Whyalla, be sure to get down and check out the circular jetty and marina. Pretty sure the jetty is the only one of its kind in the world, and even incorporates disabled access for fishing. Its unique design is absolutely spectacular against the colour of the water. Oh yeah, and keep an eye out for the odd dolphin or two over at the marina, especially when the boats come in. Good opportunity for an up close and personal.
There seems a lot of boats. Yeah, because oh.
here on the beach at Whyalla. As you can see, the tide is out a long way, and so we're in the middle of our Eyre Peninsula trip with some friends. So we're a little bit limited for what we can film, but we'll film whatever we can. We're going places, Smoky Bay, Fowler's Bay,
Streaky Bay, we're going
Streaky Bay, calling through Streaky Bay, and having a good look around the Eyre Peninsula. So, hey.
What better way to finish off a day than get treated to a light show off in the distance? On our way to our next camp at Arno Bay, we decided to check out Port Germein. This offers beachside camping, which was absolutely chockers at the time, but certainly a place to come back to, although it was a little windy today.
Morning everyone, we are here at Arno Bay. We stayed last night, not awesome weather, so yeah, it was really windy last night, and our van was blowing around a bit. It's calmed down a little bit today, but we're moving on today, heading down to Port Lincoln, which we're in the Germein Park down there. So we're down there for 4 nights at New Year's Eve, so that should be fun.
Today that she makes the best coffee. No worries. Pretty fancy.
That's for a little foot, that one.
They're only $40.
Oh, bonus.
We decided to stop in at Tumby Bay on the way to Port Lincoln. A great little town, and stop for a bit of lunch. But unfortunately, our obligatory walk on the jetty had to be cancelled.
Geez, they really upgraded in 1912. From 2 mounted constables with 1 horse to 2 mounted constables with 2 horses.
Port Lincoln, home for the next 3 days. It's quite the bustling little town with all the major shopping centres. Managed to find our way to the caravan park to check in, and it was chockers, of course. Managed to find our site, got set up, and made ourselves comfortable.
Is he just straightening up?
He's like, I could have just driven through.
A little bleary-eyed after our New Year's celebrations, we decided to check out some of the local coastal area and have a bit of a look around town. Just offshore, there was a small pod of dolphins just happily playing around in the sun. Heading into Whyall's Way, and which is down the bottom of the Eyre Peninsula. Whyall's Way is a privately owned sanctuary area. It sits on the southern tip of the peninsula. You book online and a code for the gate is emailed to you. Entry's $43, either for a day visit or you can also camp for a maximum of one night. Any additional nights is $10 a night. Now, while there is some magnificent coastline to see in the Whyalla Way Sanctuary, there is some argument as to whether it's worth the entry fee of $40+. Maybe if you stay a night, but it's still fairly expensive for what it is. I'll let you make up your own mind. While sitting having a bit of lunch, we noticed this little fella sitting comfortably in a tree. The rock on the end there looks like a turtle head. Theakstone's crevasse. It's an absolutely amazing natural formation where over thousands of years the oceans have eroded away the softer sandstone in the fault line in the rocks, creating this really long crevasse.
That is bizarre. Oh my goodness. How cool.
The next day we headed to the Lincoln National Park. First up was the Sleaford Whyalla four-wheel drive track, which included plenty of sand driving, so it was time to drop some air out of these bad boys and hit the dunes.
Not getting out.
Just airing down the tyres before we hit the sand dunes.
Yeah, it's soft.
Checking the tyre pressure down to about 15 psi. Sand's quite soft. Good fun. Come up here, firmer.
This particular area provided some great spots for the kids, or even the big kids, to do some sandboarding, or just trying to get your car to the top.
Oh, Eddie dies!
Let's just try that again, shall we? The drive along this coastline is absolutely spectacular, and it's a must if you've got a four-wheel drive and you're in this area. The trek up this sand dune was so worth the view. Absolutely magnificent.
Well, that's it for this episode, and although it seems like it's cut a little bit short, there was a bit of a reason for that. One of the couples that we were travelling with unfortunately had an incident in the sand dunes, so that's why it kind of ends fairly quickly while we're out sand driving, I should say. And it's probably a timely warning that realistically people need to remember that whilst driving in the sand is fun, and we all love doing it and all that sort of thing, but the fact is it's still dangerous, and I think you need to be mindful that when you are driving in the sand, sand dunes are living things. They're not actually stationary, so they're constantly moving, they're constantly changing, and you need to be aware of the fact that they're not all big and round and you can just drive to the top and drive over. So, and even the small ones, the small ones, you can have some fairly big drop-offs happen on the back edge of sand dunes, just on a track that you might be driving along. So just be very mindful of that. And so yeah, we did have to cut it short, and we came back a little bit early. Kind of ended our day fairly badly. No one was hurt, which was good.
and yeah, it did cause some damage to a car, that's all, but so it kind of ended our day. We are off tomorrow, so we're headed off tomorrow to Sandpiper Nest campground, and then from there we're following on and we'll do Smoky Bay and Fowler's Bay, and do a trip over to the Bight and have a look over there. We're not actually staying at the Bight, we're staying at Fowler's Bay and doing the day trip, so that'll be, well, I haven't been to the Bight before, so that'll be good.
Really,
And
something else to see, something new. Can't wait, I'm excited.
The other thing is that we're then heading back from there. So Fowler's Bay is as far west as we're going, and we then start travelling home. But we're doing inland on the way home, so we're going back through Kimber, then cutting up to Corn. We're actually going to head up to Corn, have a look around Corn, and then to Burra, and then head home from there. So that'll be our next episode, so make sure you stay tuned for our next episode.
And like and subscribe, because that's important for us.
Make sure you like and subscribe if you like what we're doing. We're only kind of new at this, but the important thing is that it doesn't cost you anything to hit that subscribe button, remember? So like this episode, subscribe to us if you want to hear and see more from us. Really helps us out, and doesn't cost you anything. So yeah, so tune in to our next episode. That's it from us here at Port Lincoln, and yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye now.
See ya.